Hi, and welcome to episode 25 of Girlfriends Knitting. My name is Carolyn, and I go by Caw Shirley on Plurk and Ravelry and pretty much everywhere else. And thank you for joining me this week. If this is your first time checking me out on the video, thank you for joining the podcast. If you are a repeat viewer, thank you for coming back. I have had a wonderful week. I just feel like a rock star, and I can't wait to tell you about it. If you've been on Plurk or on the Ravelry group, you know what I'm talking about. But let me begin with some FOs. So I do have two little bitty FOs. They look very similar, and that's because I have tons of co-workers with babies or co-workers who want me to knit them a baby present or something. So I have two little baby hats. Ooh, the lighting is terrible in here. They are identical except for size, and I put a little I-cord bind off knot on the top of this one. So this one's more like a newborn size, and this one's more child sized. But both of them are made out of Baby Jacquards by Bernat. I don't know, depends on if you say it the French way or not. And it is in BooBerries, and so it works up really cute. Waiting for the autofocus to get that glare off. There we go. It's really cute. So I'm excited about those, and I want to show you those before I, sorry about that, before I brought those over to my coworkers for their little presents. So that's the knitted FO. The other FO, several of you have seen already, and quite a few of you have even downloaded, and that is my Wisteria Garden socks pattern. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so here are the Wisteria Garden socks, patterned by yours truly. It is a short row heel toe up sock that I knit with 2 circs. Pattern, I'll show you a little bit of it. It is a free pattern, so what do I care, right, if I show you the whole thing. There are pictures of the various steps. So each step in the process, because when I first learned to knit socks, I was very confident with what I had been taught, which was 2 circs toe up with a gusset heel. I could do that. But then I was like, well, I need to branch out. So I started trying to do other patterns and short row heels and things like that. And even though you can go on YouTube and figure out how to do pretty much anything, I wanted a picture. What is that piece going to look like? And so that's what I did on here. So this is up. It's on Ravelry. Free pattern. Go check it out. Yay! So that's my other finished object. So on to works in progress. I will confess, I had a severe case of cast-on-itis, and it was all caused by what is now the lovely Gemini. So you remember last week I was not happy with my Gemini, but look, it actually looks like a sweater now. Isn't that pretty? So I have put the sleeves on waist yarn, and I'm knitting around, and it actually looks like it's supposed to look. There's the front or back, and then here's the other side. Yay! So I'm much happier with it now. Now it's just stocking knit until I'm done. So while it was still in timeout, which it hasn't, as you can tell, it has not been in timeout the whole week, but while it was in timeout, I got cast-on-itis. I knit the 2 baby hats. That was the first thing I cast on. No, it wasn't the first thing I cast on, but that was one of the things. The other was, and I can show you this page because there's no pattern info on it, just pictures. Basil, Boogie Woogie Brontosaurus. And I had been thinking I wanted to use this yarn for something ever since I got it. I got this as one of the prizes from the December knit along with Diane Knittables. And it is the Spinning Fates yarn in Buddy the Elf colorway. And if I get the yarn in the right position, you actually can see the colors pretty well. It's just that glare off the top because I can't turn off the overhead lights and still have lights in here. So there you go. This is Buddy the Elf. And I didn't want socks out of it. It just didn't strike me as my cup of tea for socks, but it was so soft. It's so squishy. The twist is just perfect, spot on. So I really wanted to use it, but I couldn't figure out for what. Well, Basil has different options. Basically, depending on what size yarn you use, you just change your needle accordingly. You do the exact same directions, and you just get a different size basil. My basil doesn't look too basil-y right now. He looks more like, as the teenagers at my house were saying, a helicopter, because I still have my double-pointed needles in him. But I love how the stripe pattern, let's see if I can, there. Do you see the stripe pattern? Isn't that great? So this is going to, I'll pick up these stitches that are on this waist yarn for his tail. And here's his little head. This is his little neck. I'm excited. Oh wait, that's going backwards. Dinosaur. So I'm super excited about my basil. And it's something else I haven't shown y'all, but I haven't worked on it here lately either, but I love it. This is out of Barocco Vintage. I think they call it the pea soup colorway. I think the color is gorgeous. Sorry for the phone ringing in the background. And it's in dragon scales. So it's a lace pattern, but there's not a whole lot of lace in it. And this is my Afghan square swap for the Knit Girls. Afghan square swap this round. This is going to someone special. Dragon scales. I'm loving it. Super fun pattern to knit with. Everything that you see here was done just one afternoon. So that's an afternoon's worth. So one more afternoon's worth and it will be ready to go in the mail. Let me look at my notes. One last thing that I cast on. You remember I told you that I was going to pay Stacy for formatting our Racing Heart socks in hand knit socks. That's what I had told her I would pay her in. And so she picked this pattern, which is Field of Flowers, and it's by Sarah. I'm Cajun, so I would say Bordelon, but it may be Bordelon. I don't know. I would say Bordelon. Sarah Bess on Ravelry. And it's just so pretty. And I'm not doing it in those colors. I'm doing it in a heritage silk in yellow and bamboo and yew in purple. They have a very similar sheen. They have a very similar twist. They have a similar weight. So they look really good together. And I had both of them at the house. They were in stash, which makes them even better. And so there is my color work. Going slowly, but going. I'm trying to use both hands, you know, where you throw one color and you pick with the other color so that you basically are holding a different color in each hand as you go around. That's taking some practice because I'm not used to continental. I throw it a lot. It's my typicals, I throw it. And so I typically do kind of this motion when I'm knitting. I know y'all don't see me knit on the show, so that's kind of what I do when I'm knitting. But I can crochet. I actually grew up crocheting, not knitting, and so I know how to tension with my other hand pretty well. So I'm doing a better job than someone who's never probably tensioned with their other hand would do, because it's just a practice thing, just like spinning or knitting or anything. You just have to get sort of the practice down. And I'm used to tensioning with both hands now. So it's a matter of figuring out how to hold the yarn here for me to grab it with the needle. Yay! Then, in all of the goodness that was last week, all the pink fibery goodness. I forgot a whole thing. It is the Uma and Ursula Monsters Kit. So Amy had bid on this at our local yarn shop for me in a silent auction that Hank was having. And she won it for me. So I am super excited. The kit comes with everything you need. You have the safety eyes, you have the felt, 2 gorgeous skeins of yarn, both from the Scarlet Fleece. So there's this one in Favorite Jeans, and this one in Professor Plum, and that's going to be my Ursula and Uma, excuse me. And then of course the pattern from Rebecca Danger. So I am just so excited with my little monster package. That's something I've had now, and I've just in all of my fibery goodness forgot to share with y'all, but I wanted to share. Okay, so this will probably be close to being it, but I do need to talk about exercise because this is where I feel like a rock star. The color run is in 11 weeks, and I'm getting very nervous about it. I still am only walking / running about 2 miles, so I've got to build up my mileage because I gotta get to 3.1 miles for it to be a 5K. So I'm working on my mileage. Monday, when I was at the gym, I realized that it's all mental. Everybody else knew this. Why didn't you tell me this? So instead of running my 1 minute, walk 2 minutes kind of a thing, or run a minute, walk 5 minutes, whatever, I decided I was just going to run until I just couldn't. And so I just started running. In about 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I thought, this is getting a little bit more difficult. But I'm not, like, done. I'm not exhausted. I can breathe, so I keep running. 3 minutes, 30 seconds, maybe it's getting a little harder. Starting to breathe heavier. This is not so easy anymore. And I'm going at a light jog. Don't think, sprint. And then about 4 minutes, I'm going to 5 minutes. So I did. And then I walked. And when I caught my breath, I ran again. And then when I caught my breath, I did another 5 minutes. I'm just so excited. So there is my super exciting running progress. I was like, I can't wait to tell the group. I can't wait to tell the group. That's all I kept thinking. As a matter of fact, on the second 5-minute run, I kept saying, it's 3 minutes, but I can't stop now. If I stop now, I can't tell them I did 5 minutes twice. I won't be able to say that. And so I've got to keep going because I want to be able to say I did 5 minutes twice. Thank you. I appreciate your motivation. It got me through. So I'm just very, very excited. And I think I'm probably the furthest behind of anybody in the group as far as getting ready for this 5K. But that's okay too. Somebody's got to be last. So I will happily let it be me. But get out there, get training, get cheering, get making those Racing Heart socks. Remember that we do have 2 cows going on. We have the Racing Heart sock cow. If you are going to knit those socks or haven't knit them yet, that's going to go until August 31st. And then we have the Color Affection shawl cow, which will go until September 18th. So it's our summer knit along for the fall goodness. So get out there, get knitting, get training, get cheering, and I hope you'll have a great week. See you next week. Bye.